This is the Britannia Challenge Cup. At the Berkshire station, we have the Quintin Boat Club. That's furthest from us, blue and white. To us, the Stratford-upon-Avon Boat Club in crimson, black and white on the Bucks station.
And the difference with this event that isn't necessarily obvious is that both these crews have coxes, but they are what we call bow loaders, so the cox is furthest from us, steering the boat, which gives them a very good view of the course, but as I say, almost obscured from our vision. You can just see
Stratford, who are back at Henley after a long period of absence, haven't been represented here for a decade, are beginning as if they mean to make up for that gap. They have come startlingly fast out of their starting position, and they have already established a substantial lead on Quintin Boat Club, who row out of the University of Westminster Boathouse close to Chiswick Bridge. Already have perhaps half a boat length, maybe more, deficit to concern them. And certainly Stratford look the tidier.
Yes, they do, Pete, and they seem to be just stretching out a little bit now as they settle well into their rhythm. And the cox will be making the calls from her position now, or his position in the bow. It's her, sorry, Rebecca there. Say the bow load is great because she can see the course well, but when they're ahead they can't see where their opposition is so clearly. But she's steering a good course, and Stratford look to be the stronger of the two crews at the moment.
And for the uninitiated, Fiona, a good course, what would you consider a good course from the respective stations?
Well, as straight as possible, and you're using the rudder as little as possible. Every time the cox touches the rudder, it will affect the speed of the boat. So he or she is trying to minimise the amount they have to use the rudder. Now, the way the crew pull and the way that, the weather will impact on the course of the boat. But a good course is the one where you are minimising that use of the rudder and just keeping the boat straight as possible.
And although there's clear water here and likely to be for the duration of the race now, when steering, do you take into account at all the position of your opposition?
Absolutely. So now she's getting clear water. She may move over a little bit so that the crew behind is rowing what we would call the dirty water. So you see when the oars come out the water, it creates disturbance in the water. If the crew behind is rowing in that disturbed water, it's not so, it can unsettle their rhythm a little bit, but affect them. So definitely a good crew can use tactics once they're far enough out ahead.
Next, as you say, Stratford by Rebecca Stokes. James Rowe, see, is to us in the stroke seat. James Reeder, Ben Twiney and Mark Jinks in the bow. And it's a tough experience now for Quintin Boat Club, clocked by Lisa Gove, with Owen MacDonald at stroke, Robert Williams, Jonathan Brown and Max Murdoch. I've heard a lot of talk today about crews like this one who are leading by a distance, perhaps leaving something in the locker, not showing their cards. Is that a part of their mindset now?
Absolutely. You don't want to exhaust yourself more than necessary, so these guys know that barring a major incident now, they will be progressing to the next round. They'll be wanting to conserve energy, so just keep themselves ahead and make sure they succeed in that win. But just as you say, keep that bit in reserve in their locker for tomorrow's racing. They certainly do look very comfortable now out in front, just stretching out there. Not a particularly high rate, they don't need to. They've got this race, as I say, fairly much in the bag, and they're just looking long and strong.
In terms of this event, as mentioned, there really isn't much form or recent history upon which to judge Stratford, but they've had a couple of notable results this year. Perhaps most notable fourth in the elite cox tours at Wallingford.
Yes, they've been out racing at a number of the major, what we call multi-lane regattas, so where the crews are racing 6 abreast. So they've been to Metropolitan, which was earlier last month, Wallingford and Marlow. So the crew has certainly been out there racing some of the best crews that they can in preparation for competing here at Henley. And you say we haven't heard much of Stratford, but it's great to see the whole range of clubs come through. Again, it shows the strength across the sport.
And indeed the draw of the event.
Absolutely.
Lovely to see it freshened and refreshened year by year with the re-arrival of old favourites. The Quintin Boat Club, whilst they know that their involvement in this event is going to end very shortly, will be themselves proud to have been a part of it, and indeed buoyed through these painful final metres by this supportive, uplifting crowd. But it is Stratford-upon-Avon Boat Club on their return to the Henley Regatta after 10 years away, who win at the expense of Quintin Boat Club, who cross the line now.